live stream on YouTube, and oh my gosh, were like the really angry people out. Like, I think there was some of the cult people that were like watching and trying to start fights in the chat, which is totally fine. But somebody, so you guys, this is hilarious. Someone shows up in the chat and they're like, why do you have a $70,000 lien on your property? And I'm like, I don't. Like, what are you talking about? And then she didn't say anything. Like, she wouldn't say like why I had this lien or not. So I'm like, what tell me why you think I have this lien. Like, I don't have this lien. So when I got offline, I wanted to go check. And so I went to the county that I live in, right? And I went to go check the property taxes, so which you can look up on, you know? And so I'm looking at it, and it says that I owe $0, right? But then I look under the assessment, which is basically, assessment means like what they're taxing, like what they're assessing your value of the home at in order to like make your taxes based on whatever percentage of it is. So they assess the land value, and then they assess the home structure. And so underneath the assessed value, it says $70,000 for land. So I think this dingbat thinks that the assessment means that I have an assessment on my property and that my land assessed value is a tax lien. I'm like, you cannot make this up. So I can't, I was like deceased when I saw that. I was like, no. They literally went on there and saw the assessment and were like, the $70,000 for the land is a tax lien, which isn't. If they would have just gone further, they would have noticed. You can't make up the past 2 years. I don't know what that means. I know. People search you when you're like when you have any sort of popularity, so I'm not like worried about that. I don't know. I think the fans of the Duggars get angry at me, so then they want to make sure that everything is like cleaned up. You know, they want to like, well, you're looking at other people, so we want to look at you. I think that's sort of the mindset of what people do. They want to know if you have skeletons in your closet, and what gives you the right to report on other people if you're not a perfect person. And I don't think any person that reports is a perfect person by any means. But I just thought that was funny. Like, you literally thought the assessment value of my land was a tax lien. Maybe that's the ATI education not working in your favor. Yeah. They are so silly. But then I was worried. I was literally worried. I was like, do I have a tax lien that I don't know about? But I don't. Because our taxes are paid through our lender. No, I'm not worried about people finding out where I live. I mean, it's just hazard. You know, it's just a part of my, unfortunate part of my job. How often do you have people cross the line with creepiness? I wouldn't say like that crosses a line for creepiness to me. I would say like when we had people calling CPS on us and like sending police here all the time, that was like this past summer and early fall. That was probably the worst I've ever gone through, and that was really scary. I think they sent I think we were swatted I don't even know how many times. It got to the point where the police were, they developed a safety plan, and if they would get a report, instead of coming to the house, they would call us. And then eventually they just stopped taking any reports from the people that kept reporting us. Yeah, so yeah, we were swatted they said that we had Brian laundry in our house. So the police came here for that. And another one was they said that my husband had a gun to my head. And yeah. I wish they did. No, swatted from the police. So the police agency said that I was being swatted. Those were the agency's words, not mine. There was no guns drawn, but they were making reports that were very, what would you say, that would make an officer think that there's danger at your house. And so it could lead to you getting killed by cop. And so that's why they called it swatting, because the accusations and the calls they were making were so severe. Yeah, drastic. So that was the worst of it. Yeah, sadly, they figured out that some of those were being done by this woman in the UK. So there wasn't a lot we could do. Thank you. The CPS stuff was the same person. It was the same person, and then she was convincing other people to report me to. It was the same person. She was doing it to other people too. It's bad. She did it to a lawyer. Yeah, she was doing it to a lot of people. So going back to the assessment, that to me isn't crossing a boundary. They're literally just looking at a record online. It would be different if they were calling the police and telling them I was going to kill my son or something like that. You know what I mean? Because that's not true. I don't think. But you guys, the good news is none of that's happening anymore. Yeah, nobody should be swatting anybody. It's scary to go through it. No, I'm not afraid. So that's all I had for right now. I just wanted to share that I thought that was so funny. That I have a tax lien, and then they went online and they literally just said the value of my land, and they thought that was a lien. It is part of being a public figure. I didn't do anything different to my eyebrows, so they're not microbladed. And I don't have a filter at all on right now. So I don't know what to say. Maybe I drew them on wrong. Or filled them in wrong. Well, thank you. I've been trying to get them fuller. Nothing. We're not doing anything tonight. I have, yeah. They look fab. I do not make New Year's resolutions, do you? My eyebrows are on fleek. Well, thank you. Thanks. My eyeliner looks amazing. Well, that's awesome. Do you guys have any plans tonight? We don't ever do anything. It's just a normal night for us. Put our son to bed and that's it. Nobody's yelling at you, Kelt. I don't know what you're... Yes, my dogs are scared of fireworks. We don't normally have fireworks here though. It's like -1,000,000 degrees out right now. No, there's not normally fireworks here on New Year's. I live in the country. You're gonna get drunk and watch Twilight. COVID is running rampant. Well, I hope you stay safe. If you haven't gotten vaccinated, make sure you do. Did you guys, oh my gosh, you know what I might watch? I don't know. Is Andy Cohen going to be on CNN with Anderson Cooper again? Did you guys watch Anderson Cooper and Andy oh my God, did you watch them last year on New Year's Eve? They were so drunk. It was so funny. I might have to watch that. Is he on? If he's going to be on with Anderson Cooper, I might watch that. Those two are so funny together. Oh God, they were so drunk last year. And did you like Anderson? They kept making Anderson take shots, and he was like basically at one point just like laying up against getting held up by the rails. They are so funny together. Some people don't like CNN, and I get it. Like, I don't watch CNN for the news. I just happen to enjoy, I really have always liked Anderson Cooper. And, yeah. I did see that Chris Cuomo got let go because of like helping his brother or something, and then I saw like one of his producers got arrested, and oh my God, that's horrible. Yeah, I like their dynamic too. They'll be on in 15 minutes. Okay, I can't wait. I love watching them. They're so funny. It's sad, you guys. There's just, unfortunately, anytime there's a power dynamic, whether it's in a church or it's in the media or even in work, unfortunately, sexual abuse happens, and it's really sad that powerful men misuse their power. It's really unfortunate. I can't say I'm actually that surprised by Chris Cuomo. I don't know that I ever really was like a huge fan of his. I saw that there was some allegations about Don Lemon, and I was like, oh God. I hope what the Don Lemon stuff isn't true. But then, so CNN let go Chris Cuomo because he, like, his brother was like involved in like sexual harassment stuff when he was the governor, and Chris was like consulting him through that like scandal, I guess, and they let him go for that. And then unrelated to that, one of his producers got arrested for luring children and mothers to his house to sexually assault the girls. But Chris wasn't involved in that. I saw something about like Don Lemon, allegedly some guy said that he groped him. That's what I read, but I don't know if it's true or not. I never really liked that Chris and his brother would be really chummy on that. Like, I just feel like there's professional lines you have to like respect. Yeah. You know, you guys, like, sexual abuse and like power, misusing power, it doesn't have party lines. Like, it's not just like a Republican thing. It's not just like a Democrat thing. It's just a human thing. Being liberal doesn't make someone not a predator, and being a Republican doesn't make someone a predator. It's the person. It's not political. We just talk about cults and the patriarchy. It's a bad human thing. Yeah. It's a powerful men thing. It is just a bad, bad thing. Someone was telling me about this YouTuber that made this video that was like talking about Jeffrey Epstein's. That's not true. So you can actually look up online all donations that are made to people politically, and you can actually go online to the IRS and check if they're contributing to like a political campaign. And you can go back and search Jeffrey Epstein's donations, and you can also go back and look at Jim Bob Duggar's donations and who donated to him, and there's zero connection. I know it's probably popular to want to like link to pedophile cases, but it's just not the case. Like, Jeffrey Epstein was in a different sphere as the Duggars. The Duggars are like more in their own little world, and they don't need Jeffrey Epstein for pedophile purposes. They have their own, the people in these cults have their own access. They don't need Jeffrey Epstein to help them. Unfortunately, they have their own access, and that's horrible. Oh, yeah, I saw Chris Noth. There's always something about Mr. Big that rubbed me the wrong way. You know what it was? So Chris Noth looks just like my ex-boyfriend, who was a total jerk. And I just never really liked him. I don't think I'm really that surprised, if I'm being honest. Someone that really disappointed me was Kevin Spacey. That like made me so angry. What a waste of a human to hurt people that way. He's such a talented actor. He like did not have to act like that. It's horrible. I don't think Chris Noth is attractive, actually, because I hate my ex-boyfriend. And my ex-boyfriend looks like so much like him. I just don't, it's really sad what happened in the Jeffrey Epstein case with, and then I don't even know how to say her name. I know she was found guilty. I just did not cover the case, and it's just not been on my sphere. I was really sad about Bill Cosby too. Bill Cosby, The Cosby Show was like one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. Literally. That one hurt. Like, I feel terrible for his victims, and I'm so angry that he got out of prison. It's horrible. Ghislaine. Your daughter always hated them. I didn't watch Seventh Heaven, so I grew up with the Cosby House. Like, the Cosby Show was like a staple in our house, and like we watched it on reruns. It would be like equivalent, the Cosby Show, like so Bill Cosby's arrest to me as a child would be like equivalent to Michael J. Fox being arrested for doing something like that, because Michael J. Fox, like, Family Ties and Back to the Future and all of the movies that he was in was like a staple in my house as well. So it would be like someone telling me that Michael J. Fox was doing that kind of stuff. Like, I would be devastated. Family Ties was literally like my favorite. I liked Family Ties, and I liked Silver Spoons, and I liked Cosby Show, and Full House, and Different World, Cheers, Seinfeld. Facts of Life, yeah, that was another one. Growing Pains. Oh, and then Kirk Cameron becoming a total jackass. That upset me too. It's hard for me to watch Growing Pains now, though. Oh, I loved Wonder Years. Oh my gosh, that was like one of my favorite shows too. Who's the Boss? Oh my gosh, yes. You guys, who else wanted to be Samantha? I wanted to be Samantha. She was so pretty. Alyssa Milano, oh my goodness. I don't think they could ever remake Wonder Years like the way that it was done. Oh God, of course, Doogie Howser. I had such a crush on Neil Patrick Harris. You guys, I was so happy when Neil came out, and like, I was so happy for him. Made me so happy in my heart, and like he and his husband and their cute little kids, and like, oh, just love him. The Waltons, not Happy Days was before my time. So when I got into high school, my favorite show was 90210. 100%. When I was in high school, my favorite show was 90210. When Luke Perry died 2 years ago, I cried like a baby. I was bawling. I loved Luke Perry. I loved his heart. He was such a gentle spirit. Just loved him. Loved everything about him. Made me so, so sad. I didn't watch Party of Five, and I didn't watch Dawson's Creek. I was so sad when he died. You know why it made me so sad is that there'll never be like a reunion. And then they did the reunion, and I was so angry. They did like the six episode like reboot, and I was so mad that they did that. I was team Brenda. I did not like Kelly at all. Like, Kelly's character was like my least favorite. And then when Brenda left the show, I was Donna. I loved Donna. I loved Donna's character. I loved David and Donna. They're so cute. I still to this day adore Tori Spelling. I also hated Valerie when she replaced Donna, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I hated her character Valerie. And in the later seasons, I grew to like Kelly. But I hated what Kelly did to Matt. It bothered me that she strung Matt along and then just broke his heart and ended up with Dylan. I never wanted Kelly and Dylan to be together. Ever. I never wanted them to be a thing. I actually wanted Dylan to stay with Gina. Gina was my favorite replacement. My least favorite replacement or addition was Claire. Does anyone remember Claire? She was their roommate in college. I hated Claire. She was the most annoying character. I missed when Andrea left. I loved Andrea. I did not like Claire. Gina was so pretty. And then David and her, Brian and her in real life had a baby. And he's kind of a dipshit. Makes me really sad that Brian's kind of a dipshit. I never watched Melrose Place. I didn't watch Ally McBeal. I didn't watch Dallas or Knots Landing. I was really young when those were on. I didn't watch Dawson's Creek. I didn't watch Party of Five. I didn't watch... Yeah. When I was in college, I didn't watch a lot of TV. So, I don't know. I wasn't really into Friends until Friends was off the air. Are you serious? What about Gilmore Girls? So I never watched Gilmore Girls when it was on the air, but if you follow me, you should know, I'm obsessed with Gilmore Girls. I've never seen One Tree Hill either. I watched Degrassi when it was on PBS. I don't know if that's where it still is on. It was really different though when I was a kid. It was on PBS in the mornings. Gilmore oh my God, Gilmore Girls is the best show, except Lorelai's the worst mom. All right, you guys, I have to go because I got to get my son ready for dinner.